This is a tour of my Pennsic home that I use every year for Pennsic. I know a lot of people have asked me questions about wanting to see the inside or how I have it set up, so I'll just do a quick walkthrough with it, and hopefully if anybody has any questions they can just ask me on the video and I'll try to respond and see if I can help you out. So what this was a 1986 Nomad camper. I stripped it down to the frame and then rebuilt a house on top of it. The roof is actually roofing panels that you get from Lowe's and some plywood, and I have a ridge that I put over top of it. It's the roof does not stay on permanently. I put it on and take it off at every event because I don't like pulling a ridged roof line down the highway. So thank you. So this is the exterior front right here, and basically I left the door in the same location that it was on the camper. We have the steps are actually the same. I thought about covering those up or at least putting wood over top of it. Haven't gotten around to it yet. The side panels that I use, they're a little, you know, dirty and dingy. It's been a couple years since I built this, but they are actually the panels that you find on the inside walls of like a shower. So they're pretty water resistant going down the highways. I do have a few scratches and scrapes on it, some maintenance I need to do there to seal it back up to make sure that it remains watertight. So let's see, the door was actually the original camper door, and all I did was take some wood flooring, composite wood flooring I believe, and I used it to cover over and got a door kit and use it to mark it out, so give it a little bit more of a period look. And as you can see, this is the actual windowsill that was in the old camper, and I put a piece of plexiglass in as the window, did a little bit of design on it. We were going to do something a lot more elaborate, but we never got around to it. So this is the entrance, and as you can see, the back side of the door I never did anything to it. I put a regular doorknob for getting in and out. I never did anything to cover it up, and that's just more project work for me further down the road. And looking in from the outside, let's let the light adjust here. I have a little closet there. I have a sink. I did leave the gray water tanks on the original camper frame, so that way I can just have water in here and I can brush my teeth in the morning, have a sink for washing my hands. Start on the floor. I took the have a plywood floor, and I had a old carpet laying around, so I carpeted the interior, at least the front half of it. The storage area up front does not have any carpet on it. Let's see, so here's the closet. Trimmed out the windows a little bit. Something new that I've done this year for Pennsic and I'm trying out is I bought a solar system so I can make sure I have rechargeable batteries in the Vardo. So I have DC lighting on the inside this year, and I hid my little light switch up here to turn on and turn off. So I try to tuck the wires a little bit. I could probably do a little better job of that. First thing coming in the door, I have lots of hooks for hanging items. Coming in, I got some of my Squire's belt. I got several hats hanging right now, all my pouches and everything. I even have a hook over here for hanging keys, my car keys, keys to the toolbox on the front of the camper, and my sight medallion, which I should probably have on, but not right now. So this is our little closet space we have here, and I got lots of stuff stored in there right now. I haven't totally organized yet, but I got some food. I got lots of lanterns and batteries and trash bags and other odds and ends, but they're stored in here out of the way. Behind curtain number 1 here, this is a part that I never got around to finishing, but it's also where I have my electrical system connected up. If you see right here, I have a 2000 watt continuous 4000 watt peak power inverter. That all runs off of I got my solar cells outside, but I have a Harbor Freight 100 watt solar system, and there's my charge controller down there, and I got a 90 amp hour marine battery, deep cycle battery. I think that may be able to do well for me, but if not, I got plenty of room down here underneath that I can store more batteries and build my system up as I go along. We'll see how it runs. We're just now in day 3 of Pennsic, so we'll see how that setup works for me throughout this week, and if so, I'll make a town run and buy more batteries if I need to. Coming in, I do have a queen size bed. I'm sorry it's a little messed up. I've been outside working and didn't really make my bed that well whenever I woke up this morning. Have a queen size bed. It is it's not a air mattress or anything. This is an actual bed. I got my 2 windows on the driver's side of the RV. I mean on the passenger side of the tiny house whenever you come in. The 2 windows right there. One of the lessons I learned whenever I built this is I really want to have windows on both sides to try to get a little air cross flow. So you notice the fan right there, I do wind up pulling air in a lot, especially when I'm in here during the day. And this is more into the bedroom area where the bed is. I have my little chandelier, have a mirror, and there's a few scuffs on the walls because whenever I transport things, I load things up in here and I stack a lot of things on top of the bed. So I have some paneling work to do to probably cover up a few scuffs. Have my curtain. I am able to close that at night if I want to for a little more privacy. I got curtains on all the windows here to close. My octagon windows, they're high enough up that they're good for light coming in. It's good to look at the stars at night, and light shines in and wakes you up in the morning, but they're high enough up that I'm not worried about just somebody commonly walking by and looking in. And as I said, with the solar power that I got, I have another light rigged up over here to light up my bedroom, and I put the light switch right here in front of the closet. This closet right here is just I built a platform and put one of the 5-foot closets from I believe it was Walmart. It was $25, and it's just a place, and I actually use this for storage whenever I'm not at an event, and I keep a lot of my garb stored in here year round, out of the elements and out of my closets at home. So it's a good setup for me at events, and it's I've got plenty of room to expand there. I also have storage underneath here for shoes and such. I actually still have my good Sandlar boots are still in the tote that I brought them here with, so I don't have it stored. And normally I will have me and my wife will sleep in here, and I'll have a lot more shoes stored than just the few that I have right now. And speaking of storage, underneath the bed here, if we look down, I have a set of 4 drawers, and just to store odds and ends in, like underclothes or armor or whatever I want to store in here. But also this whole entire area underneath the bed is storage, and this actually is not set in place. It can move and slide, and I have tubs of stuff just stored under there, and I store it during transport coming to and from an event, and I have stuff stored under there right now after I finish unloading and packing. I have a lot of extra totes that I emptied out, and all the stuff from there is stored underneath out of the way during the event. But if I need to get to something, I can just easily slide that whole entire drawer system out of the way, reach under there, grab what I need, and that easily works. But see, it's getting a little warm in here, so I think I'll actually turn on my power inverter and fire up my fan, pull some air in, but also have a another system to help me deal with the cold air. I meant with the heat, and that's under this blanket here. I brought me a Icy Breeze portable air conditioner, which is basically a cooler. It runs off of you can either have it charged, it's got a chargeable battery that'll run for 5 or 6 hours on medium or high speed, and it actually has an AC connector, which I do have in the closet. I don't have it connected right now. I unconnected everything and covered it up, but I can easily just turn this on, and voila, I have very cold air. It runs through a radiator system right there where it takes the water and pumps it through, and I get cold air, and that is way colder than it is inside, and it works pretty good. I used it yesterday. Temperature hasn't been that hot, and I haven't been hanging out in here during the day, so it's just something I thought I'd have, especially after the heat wave we had at Pennsic last year. All right, that's a little quick view of what I have in here, and if anybody has any questions, I do have a picture gallery on my Facebook of the construction I did, and if you're somebody who builds a lot of things, it might hurt you to watch the way I built it, but this is his third Pennsic. It's gone to 2 Gulf Wars, 3 War of the Wings, so it travels up and down the road, and it travels really good pulled behind my truck. So all right, thank you guys very much for checking out my video.